Welcome to Euro Truck Simulator 2. At last, you have the chance to experience your dream job of driving a truck. Your own transportation company is now open for business, but sadly you lack the money to buy a truck. For now, you'll have to work for other companies as a driver for hire. Your task is to safely deliver a load of roof lights to the RT log dock in Zurich. Your employer has provided you with a truck and will cover all expenses. Don't let anyone down and arrive on time.
Hi guys, Darkwater here, and welcome to Euro Truck Simulator 2. So we are back here in Euro Truck Simulator on my realistic profile. It's going to be kind of like an owner-operator series that is very popular with American Truck Simulator, but we are over here doing it in ETS2 instead. We are going to be playing with a bunch of mods. I think I have a total of 20 or so mods. I could pull it up here, but I'm already in game. So, that being said, we do have our very first delivery. You guys saw the introduction there. So, we are in Zurich, and we are delivering to RT Log here in Zurich as well. So, we are in a MAN. I'm not exactly sure which model it is. I think it's the new one. But, here we are. Before we begin, a couple things to take note of and get out of the way. I am using, for you guys are wondering how I'm looking around the cab like this, as I'm using a system called Track IR. It is very similar to Toby. It's an eye tracker, but what I use is a head tracker. I have a clip that sits on a baseball cap, and it basically sends an infrared sensor to this little doohickey. And then tracks my head movements. I did use the headphones clip for a while, but with my new headphones that I got, it doesn't quite fit. So back to using the original one. But anyway, with that being said, I am also using a Moza Racing truck sim wheel, as well as the Moza base, turn signal stocks, shifter, and then I also have the load cell pedals as well. And then I'm accompanied with ATS accessories, shift knob, and button box. So that is what I'm using to getting that out of the way in case you guys are wondering. I know I get a lot of comments about my equipment. I should probably start putting that in the description, but I'm just too lazy to do so. I'm just going to change a couple things here in the gameplay that I forgot to do. We're going to take that down to 70. We're going to lower, that should be fine at about 50. We'll see if that gives us any trouble. Lane assist mode, we'll keep that off for right now. And I think everything else should be okay. I'll bump this up to 10% stability. That should be fine. I'll do 5. That seems to be about average what I've been running. I try to run it as realistic as possible. As much as I can. Detours will run that about 15%. Rain will be about 20. And then we got that. So I am running and these are the buttons. I was just double checking everything here. Actually, I think I edited one. Let me see if that worked. Where is it? Yes, it did work. Okay. What you guys are seeing here, it says complex. I did a video a while back about how to set up the multifunction stock for the turn signals for Moza Racing. There's actually a trick that I found out, and you can actually keybind more than 2 buttons to a switch or to a control, and that's what I did. I actually used that for my engine brake. So I have 3 on and off switches for that. So anyway, that being said, let's go ahead and fire it up. Also, if you guys look at the map here, I am using a map mod. However, it is a Google Maps inspired mod. However, I edited the file to fit what I'm looking for. You guys don't see it on this screen. I went with a Google Maps style color scheme that does not display routes that I've been on or anything that I've discovered. Now, unfortunately with that, the city names will always be their default gray. I don't know how to fix that. Because when I discover it, it turns this like grayish blue, like Google Maps style color. I wish it would just stay gray. I don't know how to keep it gray. That is the only downside with it, is you can tell the difference between Zurich and Innsbruck and Munich, Bern, Geneva, etc. You can see that Zurich is darker color. If anybody would be willing to help me figure out how to keep this from turning colors as I discover it, I would be greatly appreciated. But everything else I changed, so that way it doesn't display anything that we've been to. It'll all keep this color scheme influenced by Google Maps. Additionally, on the job board, just like as you zoom out on Google Maps, as long as you have like live traffic on, everything should be green for the highways. So that explains that. So those are just the touches that I added and changed, tweaked to fit my needs. So no disrespect to any of the mod makers that created those mods. Absolutely appreciate you. I just tweaked the files to fit my needs. I just looking for help on that final bit, because that would greatly be appreciated. Alright, that being said, turn our lights on, and I believe we're in a manual. Okay, let's change that to an automatic, because I don't feel like shifting gears right now. We'll do real automatic. Alright, there we go. That's better. Now let's go ahead and head to our destination. There we go. So this truck does not have a retarder, but it does have an engine brake. I just activated my new button for it. Okay, pull out of here. So there has been a lot of updates for both American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator in the past couple months. The last video I did here in Euro Truck Simulator was talking, we were doing the Driving Academy. I think it was a single video that I did for that. Kind of a long video, but hope you guys enjoyed it if you had a chance to see it. If not, be sure to go check it out. But there's been a lot of news since that came out, including, I think I might have touched on this slightly, but they announced coaches as an add-on for ETS2. I haven't really dived a whole lot into it, but also the Nordic Horizon DLC trailer came out very recently. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to really touch on ATS's updates. I'll cover that when I start up the profile in that game. Just so that way I'm not blending the two, keeping them both kind of separate. But there's been a lot of information, as well as the announcement of both games coming to consoles officially. That was pretty cool. Another thing that was announced, I forgot the name of the company. I can actually look at my phone real quick. Should I grab it? I forgot the name of the company. Green light. look at my phone and drive at the same time. Not working out. Focus and Saber. Focus Entertainment, Saber Interactive. That's the name of the companies. They announced Road Kings, a trucking simulator made in the Unreal Engine. Now, I am really curious about that as a fan of truck simulator games on what that is going to be like. Because, I mean, the trailer is a trailer. It's always going to have better graphics than normal. And I never trust gameplay from a trailer, regardless of what game it's from, just because there's always going to be something that's going to be different than actual gameplay, especially to create that hype for the game. But I am really curious to learn more about it, just because of how new it is, and get to see, like, if it will bring any competition to American Truck Simulator, specifically because it's taking place in the southwest region of the United States. Now, when it comes to Europe, there is Truck World Australia coming out. I don't think that would be able to compete with Euro Truck Simulator as far as when it comes to the, cross-continental or cross-country international trucking is what, I don't know what word I'm looking for. I think that's what it is. Just because of how vast ETS2 is. Now, granted, Australia is pretty big, and it'll probably be its own unique challenges, similar to Alaska, the Alaskan Truckers game that came out not that long ago. But that one proved to not be anywhere near as good as ATS. But the premise was there, so I'm really curious to see on how that's going to be, and more information. Yeah, I'm not sure a whole lot of other information that came out recently about trucking lately. We do have a viewpoint over here, so we're going to take a look at that. I do want to discover viewpoints as we go along, if it is possible, and we have time. Photographs, I'm not going to worry about too much. We might try to see if we can get a few of them. But we're going to be playing as realistic as possible when doing so. Alright, go ahead, park up. Go ahead and take a view. Alright, there we go. this load of batteries. Oh. Discovered a recruiting statement. Their station, academy, thing, whatever. Alright. There we go. And go ahead and disconnect. Alrighty, 6 kilometers, 6 XP. It's going to be slow moving progress. That is for sure. This is our HQ. Pretty basic garage indeed. Nothing there to park. No trucks. It's right next to a service station, right across the street. Not bad. And once we gained enough money and bought a truck, we'll be able to move around the world freely and run our own business. Okay. So that is the first episode. Sorry, first job. Be a really quick episode if we just ended it there. So we are going to take another load. See where we want to go. Do we want to stay in Switzerland? Do we want to go? We can. Take this Renault. Let's see what everything's paying here. We're at RT log. That pays 129. This pays 128. I could try this new Volvo. 12 speed. We got the new Iveco as well. Pays a little bit more. Take a look at our world map. Oh, right near a fuel station too. Pretty nice. Let's see. So that's where we are. That it looks like it's either a recruitment station or a dealership. I can't be sure. That is coming from Stokes. Let's see if anything's coming out of there. There is. It's going to France. Oh, there we go. Look at that one, 143. It's taking the Volvo FH3. That's not too bad. 143. I think it's not the highest paying, but for staying in Switzerland it is. I think. I believe so. Not quite. That one is. Honey, huh? Okay. We'll take this one for 143. It's the same price. Yeah, we'll take that one. Just because I also want to discover that, whatever that is. Yeah, we'll do that. I do want to drive the new Volvo, but look, we can wait. Go ahead, take it. Hauling sheep wool. Okay. Do we have a GPS? We do. Thank goodness. Fire truck up. Let's get ourselves adjusted here. Always set the POV first, foremost. I feel like this one we got to set it pretty wide. Adjust our mirrors so we can actually be able to see around us. I'll just move that slightly in. I'm good with that. Take a look at our map here. Press the button for that. So we're going to automatically discover what that is. So that'd be nice. We'll drive by our base right here. Yeah, we get to see that. Looks like it's on a dead-end street. And then we're going to pass by Burn. And I do want to discover this. So let's take a minor detour there. Oh, I see what it's doing. So if I get off here, make a left. Nope, I get off here, there we go, it just makes it a lot better. I'll have to make a loop here. There we go. Just so I can discover that. That's all. I still want to discover things in the world. I just don't want to have to go completely out of my way. We could discover this as well, but it looks like it's on the toll there, so we'll have to figure that out. Is there anything else along the way to discover? Does not appear so. There is this one in Burn, but we'll wait till we get there. But there is a photograph to be taken up here on the northwest, and then a viewpoint there. I don't know if we'll be able to get that. 9 hours to get there as well. Anyway, let's just start making our way over there. Shouldn't be too bad. I have to zoom way back in. FOV's way too far. Now the mirror's all messed up. Oh man, what did I do to myself? Yep. There we go. It really matters where you are. Seated. How everything is. I think I'll leave that right convex. Okay, there we go. Turn the lights on. We're good to go. It's a DAF dealership. That's pretty cool. I need to adjust my height here. That's way better. Oh, I didn't even see that car there. Right, you let me go? That's nice of you. Oh, my zoom's not working, so that's cool. I'll have to figure that out. I think I made a wrong turn. I did. I made a complete wrong turn. Oh well. Truck does have a retarder. That's good to know. We're gonna be getting off here. Thank you, sir. Or madam, whoever's driving. Not hit my truck. Does Europe have a move over law? I'm curious. Anybody want to let me know in the comments? If you have emergency services on the side of the road, are drivers required to move over? I could probably Google that, but now we're going to be taking the right exit. I gotta slow down. We're doing 90. Speed limit's 80. I'll set the cruise control so that way we're not speeding. Good thing we slow down. have been bad. I don't think we can afford a nice fine this early on in our career here. I gotta start adding music to playlist here. Get my own songs in rotation here. Ones that are not copyrighted. They are getting off here. I think I need to make the roads a little bit lighter. That's a must. Mail. Yeah, 2 hours left to drive time to our destination. Smells like burnt popcorn in here. car. I want to be in the left lane. Oh, that's yellow. I'm not able to stop in time though. That's a Mercedes-Benz dealership. Equipment station. Center. Station. Center. Sorry, car. If you're gonna stop in front of my truck, just go. So it's down this alleyway. Oh, not quite an alleyway. Small street. Imagine I have to make a delivery to that dock right there. You're blocking the whole road. Left. We're stopped. I'm gonna go do something real quick here. There you go. I did adjust the couple settings there. Oh, that might help if I put it in gear. So I let go of the steering wheel and it immediately starts rocking back and forth. Don't know why. Even at low speeds. I don't get it. Looks like we're pulling to the dock. Almost perfect. Almost. There we go. Right there. Alright. Let's go ahead and disconnect trailer. There we go. that brought us up to level 1. And we're going to go ahead and bump that up to 350 kilometers. Just to start off. We do have a couple emails. Let's take a look at that. So about visiting the truck dealerships and used trucks for sale. I don't think we can access the bank just yet though. So, alright. We can also look at our truck upgrades. Okay. Got our truck dealers here. Used trucks here. Convoy lobby here. Not too worried about it. Alright, before call it, I'm going to go ahead and save the game. And then I'm going to exit out to the title screen to show you guys the mods that I've been working with. At least that I'll be using here at the start of the profile. So I think all of the mods except for this one is available on the Steam Workshop. That is correct. So only one mod is available offline, but it's essentially a copy of this one with edited files. And then this one is available on Steam Workshop, but I also edited this one as well to suit my needs. So that is the mods. So we have our realistic economy, cheaper ferries, all of the dashboard improved dashboards, our navigation, raindrops should actually be a bit higher. I'm actually not sure. That just sounds right. Yeah. And then I believe we had the. Oh, we don't have the sound fixes packs. I thought we did, but I guess not. So I had that one in here. I guess I took it out for some reason. Realistic train lengths, or a few vehicle packs, stock companies, international truck pack, train sounds, and real traffic density. That's pretty much it. So running pretty minimal as far as that, and realistic rain and water and thunder sounds. I don't think. Yeah, realistic rain effects. So this one actually I don't need, because this one should take care of it. Yeah. So I think that one was just for the snowflakes, for what I was using the Frosty mod over the winter. But yeah, that is the mods that I'm using on this profile. Again, pretty much minimal. Nothing too crazy. If you guys recommend any mods, let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to drop a like to show your support, and subscribe if you have not already. Be sure to check out my other videos here on Euro Truck Simulator 2 and also in American Truck Simulator. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys down the road in the next video.